Sculpt legs warm up. We're going to start with a kickback. And so you want to feel a little stretch down the front of your thighs, down the front of your quads. And to make sure you're getting that full stretch, we need to push the hips forward for that. So we're going to pull the arms straight back. If you can keep straight at the elbow, you get a nice stretch across your chest, shoulders, and biceps as well. So we'll be using the arms just a little bit to get those legs really worked out today. And just a reminder, whenever we work legs, we're getting a very good cardio and calorie burn as well, because we're challenging some of the biggest, thickest legs in the body that use the most energy. Okay, next up, side lunge, but just taking the feet super wide. Come down to the right, come down to the left. One leg stays straight so that it gets that stretch through the inner thigh, opening up through the hips and warming up legs from top to bottom. Good, nice deep inhales here. We're gonna need those lungs warmed up to keep the breath rate strong through the workout today. Really pushing into the heel of your foot to come back up, keeping a very strong core. So we're just hinging at the hip and not rounding the back at all. That is a really good thing to keep in mind during the class. The session today, keeping the back straight will keep your back strong, healthy, and also work your core, which is always a nice little side benefit. We like that. Here's the lunge warm-up. So we're just going to turn the whole body to the side if you pivot on the heels. And then fingertips straight down towards the ground, and then straight up. So down low enough that we're feeling another stretch through the quad bag and hip flexor. Down and up. Really pushing hard into the front heel. And this is kind of like brain warm up too, coordinating the brain for the movements that we're going to do in the workout today. Really targeting the glutes. One more big push. And then switch. Good, other side. So keep in mind throughout the workout today, if you need to be careful of your back, that's going to help you decide what weights you're using. Lighter is better. And if you have heavier weights and you're comfortable with the movements, go as strong as you can, as heavy as you can with good form. One more here. And then taking the ankle across the knee. So feel free to hold a wall or a piece of furniture if you want the extra balance so that you can get nice and low and really open up the hips and affect a little range of motion in the piriformis muscle. Deepen the glute. Let's do one more on each side here. Okay, one last rotation, just upper body right to left. Let the arms swing, keep the chest tall, and the crown of the head back over the tailbone. Make sure that spine is loosened up and we're ready for this. Trying to keep belly button right over top, or nose right over top of the belly button. Okay, so even if you don't have any weights, join me for some squats here. We're going to take the legs wide. This will be a plie squat or a sumo squat, however you want to think of it. Taking one dumbbell, if you have that, we're going to hold it goblet style. So shoulders roll way back, this is important. And weight in the heels, we're going to come down until the tailbone is behind the knees or as low as you're comfortable going. And then emphasize up with power. Keep those knees open over the ankles. If the knees are rolling in, it could indicate that the weight is either a little too heavy for that deep, or that the hips are a little bit too tight to go that low. So keep the alignment, that's key. Last 5, 4. Good. Mostly we're going by time here, so if you are using lighter weights and you want to go faster, feel free to get a couple extra reps in, and vice versa with the heavy. Lunges are next. 2 of your heaviest dumbbells that you can maintain a lunge for. I want you to make sure that they're heavy enough that you couldn't do a bicep curl. That's a good indication. that you're loading well. We're going to slowly come down, similar to the way that we did in the warm-up. And we're just keeping it really structured here. So a static lunge allows us to go a little heavier, so we don't have to stabilize so much through the hip and the front knee. If your weights are lighter than you would like them to be, you can add a little half squat at the bottom and then come all the way up. It puts a little bit more time under tension in the muscle. One more here, and then we're going to switch legs. Other side. I've got my 25 pounds here, so I'm feeling like I don't need to add any extra for today. Big exhales to the top. Keep the spine nice and long and tall with the shoulders down. Last 5 seconds. Woo! And dumbbells down. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go right into our third exercise, which is gonna be a hip bridge on our back. So this is a chance for the heart rate to come down a little bit while we're still really challenging the legs. So take your heaviest single dumbbell. 2 dumbbells works fine too, but it's a bit more awkward. Placing it on the crease of your hips. Lie back with your heels a little bit further ahead than where your knees are. Lift the hips high, feet at hip width apart. We're going to come down just halfway and then go all the way up. This is basically a lying kettlebell swing. So the hips go back just a touch, and then you, with power, push the hips through the heels kicking into the floor to the ceiling with a tight glute squeeze at the top. So hamstrings are firing up, glutes are firing up. Good, increasing that hip and pelvic stability, strength, and power, keeping in mind that those glutes and hamstrings are fast twitch muscle fibers. So we want to train them with power, go as fast as you can to the top. Of course, the heavier it is, the slower you might actually be going, but as long as you're going as fast as you can. One more big lift here. Bring it all the way down, and then we're going to translate that to an actual swing squat. If you have a kettlebell, please use it. If you don't, take your dumbbell, which I'll use on our first round here, for the squat. So holding it as if you were riding a broomstick, like that, 2 hands in. So it's that partial squat. I'm going to go sideways so you can see I'm not squatting very low, and then hips forward. And it's the momentum of the hips going forward that floats the dumbbell up, making sure to keep the shoulders back. That's what's going to keep it all in the abs and the glutes while strengthening the upper back. So we let it fall, and then we contract the abs tight so the shoulders don't roll forward. Last 5 seconds. Hips forward. And bring the dumbbell down. Woo! All right. Back to our goblet squats, or plie squats, however you want to call it. Good. Take another 10 seconds to catch your breath here. Get ready to go. If possible, maybe go a little bit wider this time. All right, we're on for 20 seconds. Down and up. Again, keeping those knees open, pointing in the direction of the second toes. Shoulders back, very heavy in the heels, leaning back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lunges. Okay, as heavy as you can, maybe a dumbbell in each hand. You can load yourself however it works for you. If you just got the one heavy weight, that's also great. One heavy weight, you're great. Good, really focus on keeping the spine long here. Try not to round forward This is a chance to really practice that very tall, strong posture, very erect posture. One more. Woo! Other leg. Stay with your breath. Big, deep inhales through the nose. We're trying to bring the oxygen down into that powerful leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to the floor. Okay, hip lifts. One heavy dumbbell on the hips. Again, feet are just a little bit ahead of the knees, so not way back here. That way we hit those upper hamstrings a little bit more. Hips all the way up at the very top, halfway down, all the way up. Halfway down, all the way up. Make sure you're not arching your back when you lower your pelvis. It's almost more that you're lowering your middle to lower back. Middle to lower back is coming down to the floor. Kind of keeping the pelvis tucked a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. And then we're back up. Okay, so single dumbbell, or if you had a kettlebell, I'll just keep using the dumbbell. We agreed we're using dumbbells. If you have a kettlebell, you can use your kettlebell. Here we go. So it's like a part squat, and then hips forward. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh yeah. All right, we are going to do a third round, but we're going to make it all a little bit different. So, catch your breath quickly here. Relax and breathe. We are going to go back to one more set of the goblet squat or the plie squat. We're going to change it a little bit. So, same weight if you can. We're going to hold for 5 seconds and squat for 5 seconds. So, as many squats as you can in 5 seconds. Let's start there. Down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then hold at the bottom. 5. Abs tight. Lean back into the heels. Chin in. 2, 1. Down up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold this one 5 seconds at the bottom. Last time, up and down, 5. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh! Woo! Okay. 10-second break. I'm going to take 2 dumbbells or however you're planning to load your lunge. We're going to do the same thing. Same thing. Hold and lunge. With the feet planted, so just on the tippy toe of your back foot, heavy on the front foot. Here we go. Down and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold at the bottom. Heavy in the front heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, up. One more time. And hold at the bottom. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch legs. I hope you're feeling this too. My glutes are torched. Here we go. Good, and then holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, one more time, down and up. And hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, done. Excellent. Okay, we've got our hip bridges on the floor, kettlebell swing, or dumbbell hip thrusters. Here we go. All right, hips go high. All right, here's the change this time. If you want, carry on as before. Otherwise, I want you to try shifting body weight to one heel. If you can do that without twisting your pelvis, kick one leg up and hold 5, 4, 3, 2, switch legs. Good. If you're twisting at the pelvis, please keep both feet on the floor and just squeeze and hold. Little pulses to the top. Good. Switching one more time on each side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Weight in that heel. Hips high. Squeeze the glute. 2, 1. And then coming all the way down. You know it. One more to go. Back up on our feet. It's like part of the exercise, all the up and the down. All right. The swing squat. We got this. All right. Can you switch hands? Can you switch hands? So maybe, maybe not. But if you do, it's going to be at the top. So up, up, and then down with one, up, down with the other one. One hand goes to the outside of the legs, and the loaded hand goes between the legs. If it's light enough, should be no problem. If you don't like it, go back to 2 hands. 10, 9, 8, 7. It's all in the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay. Recover, breathe, celebrate. But there is one more thing we're going to do. It's not going to have our heart rate up quite as high, which is nice. But we are still going to work the legs. We're going to finish with a little calf burn, little calf burner. So I want you to take your dumbbells. The ones that you used for your lunges would probably be best, but I'll let you decide. We're going to start with the toes. The heels are hip width apart, but the toes turned out. So just as much as you can comfortably turn them out, if you're extremely flexible in your hips, that might be a little bit more. And then tuck the tailbone under so the lower back is long and even a little bit flat. Come up on your toes, squeeze your calves, come back down and go right back up. Imagine that there's something hot or sharp under your heels. When you go down, you go up again, down, up quickly, up quickly. Last 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to turn the toes in, but the heels stay in the same place. Toes turn in, back up on the toes. Here we go. Good. Get up as high as you can. And let the dumbbells pull your shoulders down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then finally legs, feet straight ahead. Adjust these weights here. Here we go. Up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and dumbbells down. Okay, we're gonna stretch that. Hands to the floor, calf stretch, one leg back, and one toe resting in front of you, or in between. I'm trying to keep the back flat here. Good, constant tension, pressing the heel of your foot towards the floor. This should feel really good after all those calf raises, and then we'll switch. This is one of those muscles for me that's always tight as well. The calf stretch always feels amazing. Okay, and then for our hamstring stretch, we're going to stay in the same position, but lift one leg as high up as you can without twisting the hips. So try to keep the hips level and just lift that top leg as high as you need to go to feel a stretch at the back of your standing leg. And then just before we switch legs, let the hip open up a little bit for a slightly deeper stretch through the hip and the lower abdomen. And then we'll switch, lifting the other leg. So at first, just keeping the hips square. You'll know you're keeping the hips square if it feels like your leg isn't as high as you could possibly go, but you have a very big stretch up the back of your standing leg. That's the right spot. Okay, and then open up the hip a little bit, bigger stretch. And coming down for a quad stretch. Let's do this one on our front here. So lying on your front, reaching back your right arm for your right foot. And then we need to add that kick. Kicking the foot into the hand and pushing the hips forward into the floor. Okay, other side. And then child's pose. This is for the back. We can take the knees open to include the hips in that stretch as well. And then slowly roll your way back up again. Woo! Those legs are feeling good. Hot and spicy. Good job today.